Hi there, my name is Vince. Welcome to my channel. In the last video, we started with AI and we implemented a basic AI guard. Today we're going to continue with that, but we're going to improve what we did on the last video. Before we start with the tutorial, let me give you a quick update on the progress of Witchery Academy, the live sim simulator that I'm working on, and it's a game where you play as a witch in an academy in this fantasy magic world. So we implemented fun things. We implemented interaction with the world, and we started with a bench. So you can sit down on the bench, and you have your feline companion, and you can pet him. So it's very fun. We are adding also facial animations for the characters, and well, we want to implement more interactions. So it's gonna be amazing and it's looking really great. You can follow the game on the Twitter account, but we also have Discord, so come and join us and we can talk about the tutorials. But I am trying to grow a nice, wholesome community, so I love when people join and share their creations, anything game dev related, or pictures or drawings, whatever you want. Pets, I love talking about pets with people, and they also share their pets, so it's really nice. In the last video, this was the final state of the car. In this video, it's gonna be similar, but instead of only 2 waypoints, we will have 3, but we can add more. And so this is the final result. It is basically the same, but I added more waypoints. There is one there, and there was another one there. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. But you can add more. And remember, it's as long as you have the navmesh enabled. Right there, you can use AI. And one thing I recommend actually, this level, for example, has all of this is for navigation, but this part, I don't want this part to be part of the AI, so you can always modify that and make it smaller, so it won't cover everything, and it could be useful if you don't want, for example, this guy to try to detect your player right there, something like that. So yeah, you can do that. Okay, so the previous video we had this Blackboard. Remember that Blackboard is just a table with variables. We have vectors, we can add actors, we can add floats, ints. This is basically to connect with the behavior tree with the Blackboard and create the behavior tree and well, work with that. We will see more of this. And the behavior tree, the previous one, is this one. So we have only one sequence, a wait, then it moves to the first target, and as you remember, it was one of the 2 targets that I set on the blueprint AI controller on the level, and then there is a second wait, and then it moves to the next point. So we will end up with something similar, but instead of having like all of these, we will have basically like a few tasks. This solution is okay, but imagine if you have like a really long path with 20, 30 waypoints. You don't want to like add like tons of these elements one after the other. To improve that, let me show you what I did on the guard. So if I go to this guy and then I go to the details panel, AI, this section, I'm still keeping these 2 elements, but I'm not gonna use this anymore. Instead, I have this patrol. This is just to enable and disable this element right there. But what I have is a list which contains target point 1, target point 2, and target point 3. And obviously I made this via C++. You can use blueprints, of course, but I like to use C++ because I have because everything is more clean this way, and I like this way. So yeah, I have the 3 points. We have these 3 ones linked, but because I'm using a list and I'm using a different way to sorry about that. Because I'm using a list, I could add more points and add them right there and have a larger map with more points, and this will work exactly as I wanted. So for that we have to edit the C++ class that we created in the previous video, but it was completely empty, so let's do that. So the AI guard extends from a character, and we didn't have anything, but now what we have is begin play and tick. That's normal stuff that Unreal Engine adds. Then we have the EU property, be patrol. This does nothing really. I don't even know what I added, sorry. Well, it has this interested edit instance only. Yeah, that's for the instance on the level. And then we have the patrol points, which is a T array or a list with actors, which wants actors. And what I was gonna say is I added this meta condition expecting this boolean. So if this is tick, this is enable, you can edit this. If it's not, you won't be able to. Then I have an int to have to check which is the next patrol point that the robot is gonna go to, because I'm gonna handle a bit of logic on C++, so my blueprint won't be that messy. And we have the get next patrol point function that basically gives us the one of the points right there. And the C++, the CPP file is very simple. We have the get next patrol point with a quick check, which is if there are patrol points. If there is no patrol points, it's return null. And if we have, all we have to do is get the next patrol point. We access the list and we use that index, that current patrol point index, which always starts in 0. To get the next one. Then we advance 1, and if we get to the maximum of elements, we start from the beginning. Finally, we return this. So this is very handy. We're going to use this on blueprints. And remember, to be able to get functions on blueprint, we need to add EU function, blueprint callable, and always nice to have a category. Let's move on now to the blueprint. And so we need to change that, this behavior tree. As usual, I already have mine working, which is this this robot right there is using my final one. Let me show you real quick what it does. And yes, not very difficult but different from the previous one. We still have a sequence, so all these nodes are going to be executed in this order from left to right. First we have the wait. Now we have a custom task, and as you can see, what I have it get next waypoint, then move to a target destination, which is going to be the same one for all of the waypoints on the list. And finally, I added this rotate to face BB entry with this target destination. This is one of those nodes, handy nodes that behavior trees provide, so I don't have to do the rotation myself. Now let me show you the Blackboard, because I had to change the Blackboard to adjust to that. Previously, I had this target point 1 and this target point B. For this final version, we have just target destination, which still is a vector, and with that we don't have to fill this with lots of things. Very handy. Okay, so let's go back and let's start destroying this code. So first thing first, let's remove all of that. We don't need that. Maybe we can set that to 2 seconds. Now we need to create a new task. So new task, blueprint based, important. And this is gonna give you a very generic name, so my recommendation is going to the place where the task is, and it should be in the same folder. Well, I created it here, and well, I'm gonna move it right there because I want to keep everything in the same place. And we can set something like similar as I have in the other one, which is get, oh sorry, no, okay, this is the final one, this is the previous one, sorry about that. Okay, maybe the task, and now get next waypoint. Okay, done. Before that, important, let's go here on the Blackboard. Let's just remove this one and use target destination. Yeah, next target destination. If you remember how I explained in my last video what is a behavior tree, I said something like it's basically a play, it's like a script for our characters, in this case the robot. So in that play we want to add what we want the robot to do, so that's what we're going to do. And so first thing what we want is a weight, then we want to use that specific task that we just created. So we drag a new one and find that one. So I quickly renamed this new task because I had the same one and I didn't know which one was that, so I'm using this one, which is the empty one. With this, we are going to select the next waypoint through that C++ function. And then we need a move to, and we want this, the target destination, that's correct. And finally, we can use that last task, which is the rotation, which is rotate to face BB entry, and we need to select the next one. So now what is going to happen is wait, select the next waypoint, move to that next waypoint and face that one, so it's going to rotate automatically, and it's going to go in loop. So I will select the next one, the next one, move to all of that in loop, because there is nothing to tell this blueprint to stop, but that's what we got for now. Now let's open this and let's make this work. Okay, so for that we have some handy functions for the AI. So we have the different executions that we want, and we're interested in this receive execute AI. You should use this AI when you are using AI controller, that's kind of important. And now we can use the controller pawn and cast to AI Guard. I'm using this pawn because I have that code on the character and not on the controller. The other option is to extend the AI controller by default and add those things. But I started this project with using character, and I'm gonna stick to that. Okay, having this, we can convert this to pure cast. There's no need to do that. And then we can access that function, so we just need to find the function, and as you can see we have to get next pattern point. We can then do that, and now we can set Blackboard value as vector, and we can promote this to a variable and set a name here, so target destination BB value, for example, because we're gonna need to do stuff outside from this, and we need to make it public. So finally this right there is waiting for a vector because this is a vector. So with the result of value we can do get actor location. Get actor location and then that there, and yes, finally. And very important is to finish the execution of this task, otherwise it will be in loop. So make sure to add this finish execute. So this means success and everything is good. We could add, like, for example, we could add like a branch right there to check if this is not success. We can just do false and this won't work. And we can also do that and do that. I don't think it's really necessary because these cuts should be okay. And also we could add here also the same thing. It's we could add is valid, and if it's not, return to the same thing here. Up to you. I just want to simplify that, so I'm not gonna do that. Fine. Okay, we can compile, we can go before, and right there it should be waiting for the target destination BB value, and because we only have that one, it's already selected. Now this blueprint is already running my final version. I have all of these elements there, so it's running the new blueprint original, and just gonna remove all of this and leave this clean because I don't need that really. So yeah. And now if we go and play, it should work as before. Yeah, it goes to the waypoint and then it goes to the next one, and if we open this you will see that it waits, then it does that function. Oh, okay, yeah, it's working. Yeah, it's facing that point and then goes there and face that one, and it's gonna do that in loop all the time. So it's doing this really fast. You can see it, but it's running that. So it's doing that, but it's just going fast. And that's it for today's video. In the next one we're going to continue implementing this logic, but we're gonna add more stuff. We're gonna add detection of the player and the ability to stop the player and restart the level probably. And yeah, we will keep working on this behavior tree and adding more complexity. So thanks for watching. Please share, subscribe, it helps, and you can get the project files on my Patreon if you support me, of course. Thanks. See you next time on the next video. Bye.